Okay, so we went through the setup wizard, we got to the finish button, and this video is about the weighted grades and the problems that you may run into when you create your categories and items. I'm going to hit the finish button, and this is what you would see. Now, we've set up our gradebook as a weighted gradebook, and I mentioned there are two rules. Number one, you have to have categories, and the second rule is the category total must weigh 100%. So you'd start by creating your categories, and for example, you might have assignments, quizzes, discussion. So each one of those um, is going to be worth a certain percentage, and you want the total of the total categories to be 100. So discussion is going to be worth 10% of the final grade. It doesn't matter how many discussions I have within that category, but they will be weighted as 10% of the final grade. Now, the items within a category must also total 100%. I can manually assign the weight to each of those items. I can choose to distribute the weight evenly across all the items. So if I have 6 items and they're each 10, that would be 60 instead of 100. But if I choose this, it'll make them all even out to 100%. If I make this selection, it means that, let's say I have 6 discussions and I'm going to drop one of them, and I just want to grade the final 5. I can say that I want to drop the last one, and the computer will find the lowest graded item in the category and remove it, and then will distribute the weight evenly across the remaining items. So I'm going to go with manually for now, and I'm going to hit save and close. If I hit save and new, I could finish creating my categories. However, this gradebook already has some categories, so for now I'll hit save and close. I think it will be instructive to look at what can go wrong in a weighted gradebook to help you get it set up properly. And when you set up your categories and your items, it will give you the error messages that tells you what you need to fix. So let's look at the first error message. The final grade only sums to 80%, not 100. So if you'll notice here with the indentations, and also by the column called type, this is a category and it's worth 10%. These are the items in the category. They're indented, and each of them is worth 10% of that category. Okay, so I have 10%, and this is 10, that's 20, and 30. So then I have assignments, that's 70, discussion is 80. If you'll remember, the error message said I only have 80%. So I can edit one of these items, or more than one of the items. Let me edit discussion, I just created that. So I'll click on edit item, and you see at the top it says edit category, discussion, and I need it to weigh 30% to make that error message go away. I'm going to hit save and close. You'll notice now I don't have that problem. My next problem is that the integration log activity, that's this category, comes to 130%. Well, why did that happen? Well, if you notice, starting with CSI survey, I have 13 total items, and they're each worth 10%. Well, let's go look at the settings. So you see where it says manually assign weight. That means I assigned the weight, and I have 13 items each worth 10%. And that's what the message says. You have 130%. So there's 2 ways to fix it. One of them is you can go remove some of the items till you're at 100, change the weight of every single one of those so they're not 10%, so that you get whatever 13 into 100 is. Or you can say, you know what, I just I want to keep the 13 items. I want it to figure out the weight that each of the items will be so that that category comes up to 100%. That's the easiest way to solve that problem. So I'm going to hit save and close. Okay. So, oh look, it says in-class activity also comes up to more than 100%. So let's go to in-class activity. We'll edit that grade item, and again, you'll notice it says manually. You know what? This time, the in-class assignments, if they're absent, I don't want them to have to make up something if they're just absent one day from being sick. So I'm going to say that I want it to distribute the weight evenly, and I want it to drop the lowest in-class activity. So I'll hit save and close, and now that message is gone. Under assessments, the sum is 20%, not 100. So let's go look at the assessments. Here I have a pre-assessment and a post-assessment. They're each worth 10%. That does not come up to 100 within the category. So I think what I'll do is change this, and I'm going to say that that one is worth 50% in the category, and I have to go down and change the next one to also be 50% so that the total is 100 in the category, and now that's gone. So I'm not going to go through everything, but you get the idea. Now discussion is 0 because I have not created a discussion board item. We will in the next video show about how to create and link things as you create, like discussions and assignments. And you'll notice assignments is also 0. So if you need to add another category, you can click on New Category. Once you have created a category, and I created assignments and discussions, I have no items in there, so I need to go and create an item. So please visit the next video for how we will do that.